What's going on, y'all? KMStache here, fresh off of a sub goal, and I am here to talk to you about a deck that got me the easiest Infinite Conquest finish I have ever gotten, as well as performing really well in high-level ranked Marvel Snap. I think it's a bit underrated right now. Let's take a look. This is the list, and it is a fusion of the Zabu archetype and the Annihilus Bounce archetype that was necessitated by the nerf to Werewolf by Night. Previously, I had the Annihilus Bounce archetype as one of the absolute best decks in the entire game, before the nerfs to Werewolf by Night, and of course to Black Widow, relegated it to the back burner for a while we figured out what else worked. Ms. Marvel established herself as the preeminent stat stick in the game, and that means that there is now room to work around that and try to figure out what to do with this shell outside of that. I found this list on Untapped. I believe it was created by a player named .Geo, who played it to a very high rank, but I am not positive, and it has been a phenomenal build for me in terms of providing what I want out of Marvel Snap, which is I don't necessarily always want to play Miss Marvel, and I don't necessarily always want to play Loki, but I don't want to sign up and feel like I'm at a disadvantage in every game that I play because I'm not playing those cards. And this deck has really scratched that itch. It allows me to queue into a game knowing what my game plan looks like, knowing that I can do the things that I want to do. I can envision my turn 1 through 6, and there's no worry about like what happens if they rogue my Miss Marvel, or what happens if they I get a Loki and I have to figure out how to play their deck on the fly. This deck plays itself sort of the same way in most matchups, and there's just enough intricacies with the bounce stuff, the werewolf stuff, the Annihilus stuff, depending on the matchup, and of course the tech cards that you will never be bored. You will never find yourself lacking for something to do with this deck. And finally, it is extremely, extremely strong. Running a bounce deck without the hood is about as bad of an idea as my mustache, so please don't queue this deck up without the hood in it. This is still a deck that benefits hugely from Beast and the hood, and Falcon, and the hood, and Annihilus, and the hood, and you kind of see where we're going with this one, right? This guy gives you 1/6s, which is great. You get to reuse him, which is better, and then you get to send him to your opponent when you're done, which is even better. Forge is actually one of the most played cards in the game, but he hasn't really found his stride in most decks, having a relatively low win rate relative to his play rate. Now, I think this deck really helps solve that problem. If you're playing Forge, you need Beast in the deck. If you're playing Beast, you probably want Falcon. And those are the things that make these decks really tick. And I think Forge, outside of that context, and maybe even outside of the specific Werewolf by Night context, is genuinely not that good of a card. In this case, however, he is phenomenal. Of course, a reusable body that you can use to attach extra points onto your Nico Minoru. You can use to attach extra points onto your demons. You can use to attach extra points onto your Annihilus. Any number of things. One of the interesting things about this deck is that when you attach those extra points onto Annihilus, it still doesn't die to Shang-Chi, and it gets to about as big as you can get without risking that. Definitely the kind of play that does matter some of the time. Spider-Ham is a true flex spot. This is just whatever good disruptive one-drop you want to run in here. I would have no issue with you running Iceman or something along those lines here instead. Right now, I consider Spider-Ham a little bit better. He's also a hedge for other people playing Annihilus, and he answers decks that you may not have answers to in your hand or even in your deck. This guy is a way for you to sometimes hit Loki, he will sometimes hit opposing Annihilus, he will sometimes hit something totally useless, and that's something you're going to have to live with. But he is, I think, probably the most powerful of the disruptive options available to this deck. Of course, if you do not own Spider-Ham, you do not have to purchase him for this deck to make sense. Iceman is a perfectly serviceable budget replacement. I find that the bounce shell is very much carried by Nico Minoru, or at least a lot less worth running if you do not have her. Not necessarily in all cases, but in so many of them that I do think she's a core piece of the shell. And the major reason for this is that she is able to do things that no other cards actually can. Whether or not she's required for the deck, or maybe you could put a different piece of disruption in there. Again, we've talked about Iceman as a card that you could actually see in this deck very easily. I think almost the thing with Nico is almost every other option is going to be worse than her. However, one downside of Nico is that she genuinely does require you to be good at prioritizing and figuring out what matters in each situation, whether or not it's more important to play, say, a Zabu on turn 2, or it's more important to try to draw 2 cards. That can really depend on the matchup, honestly, and it can depend on the context of your hand. If you have something that's easy to throw away, that's really, really good. If you don't have something that's easy to throw away, and maybe you have to take a risk, maybe you have to gamble and say, I'll draw something that's easy to throw away. Maybe you throw away the Zabu. I don't think you do. But I think she forces a lot of these questions on you where if you're not actually good at answering the questions she poses, she gets a lot worse. So there's a decent chance that you could pick this deck up and maybe replace Nico with kind of whatever, and it might not be that big of a drop-off if you're not really good at playing her. That said, sometimes she's just like a 0-8, and that is obviously ridiculous. Like using her to get a Forge effect, and then putting her back in your hand for 0, and then using her to turn something into a demon, and then putting her back in your hand for 0, and then doing something else. It's very, 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 very strong. She is very often well above rate, and a big part of how the bounce deck generates power from those 1-cost cards. She's doing a lot of work there. We play so many 4-cost cards now. People think that this one is about the Werewolf by Night, and it kind of is, but we lean a little bit further into the Zabu thing here by attaching Enchantress and Shang-Chi to this deck, which gives it some real play that it previously did not have. There's a lot of flexibility now, although it does sort of push you towards being an Annihilus on 5 deck. That's not necessarily all that bad unless you're in the Annihilus mirror. So this kind of play style does enable you to play early wolves, and then you can do your Beast Falcon thing, and you can pretend it's, the wolf we all got used to. And it is a worthwhile sacrifice to include Zabu in here, but it is also just very, very good that Zabu gives you access to Shang and Enchantress right now, especially Enchantress, who is a very important part of how this deck can deal with decks that play Miss Marvel, decks that go over the top. And the cool thing about including those cards in your deck is that you have basically no targets for them. So when you are in this situation, the only thing that your Shang is going to hit is your Sentry, and your Enchantress is not going to hit anything when someone Lokis you, which gives you some interesting ways of approaching the pseudo mirror after they Loki you. That, I think, is one of the big things that Zabu actually does give you. Yeah, maybe they'll Enchantress your Zabu, but you're mostly fine with that, and this is a really, really, really useful piece of the deck. You are a bounce deck still, and that means you still play Falcon, because a lot of the power of this deck comes from those 1-drops that you get to recycle. The Hood and Nico Minoru are where most of the oomph come from, and of course recycling things like Spider-Ham, not that good. If you replace him with Iceman, it can get a lot better, but I think that for the most part you're looking for the oomph when you recycle this stuff. Forge, and you're looking for your Hood, and you're looking for your Nico. You're looking for power when you do this, and you have 1 disruption slot, basically, is how it works. And so you just use this to generate more power than you should be able to, because those cards were designed to be played once and not multiple times. Make no mistake, Beast is significantly better than Falcon. Beast plus these 1-drops is a plan all to itself, and it is one of the cheapest things you can be doing in the game of Marvel Snap, both in terms of, getting the cards and in terms of the energy cost that it takes. Beast is often effectively free. You're discounting 3 things, you're getting those 1-drops for free later in the game, and more than free, you get to recycle them again with Falcon some of the time, or send them over with Annihilus. Like, God knows that's a thing that happens. So Beast is very often just actually paying for itself. Extremely strong card. Really, really good. Shanger Banger helps answer some of the things that this deck is otherwise unable to do. If you know me, you know I have a preference for decks that have a strong plan A backed up with tech, and Shang and Enchantress serve the role of the tech cards in here that help your strong plan A handle the things that would otherwise go over the top of it. This guy can blow up a blob if you throw priority, and you're pretty good at throwing priority. He can blow up a devil dinosaur. He can blow up a ton of stuff, and blowing that kind of stuff up is the stuff that wins games. Werewolf by Night, make no mistake, is significantly worse even in this deck that is very much built around him than he used to be. It is very clear to me that Miss Marvel is a more efficient stat stick. Werewolf by Night will very often not be a 415. He'll get kind of close, but he also has to choose one lane to go in, which is a bit of a downside compared to Miss Marvel as a 415 spread across 3 lanes. And one of the main reasons why you're a werewolf deck and not a Miss Marvel deck is just she doesn't go here. You're playing a lot of 1-drops. You're going to have multiple 1-drops in the same lane a lot of the time. There's really nothing you can do about that. You also actually play a lot of 4-drops, and there's really nothing you can do about that either. She just doesn't fit here. I'm not saying there's nothing you can do with the 1-drop shell in Miss Marvel, but right now I do think Werewolf does fit here because of all the recycling on reveals, and Miss Marvel doesn't fit here because of the way our mana costs tend to work out. Enchantress is just so good right now. There are so many strong ongoings that you're gonna need to get rid of, and many of the things that go over the top of a deck like this involve ongoings, Living Tribunal stuff, Mr. Negative stuff, the Card Devil Dinosaur, like just a bunch of stuff that you otherwise struggle with, you do not have to worry about anymore. Enchantress is very, very good right now. Not the least of the things that she does is just shutting down Miss Marvels, especially when they're really counting on them. That is a clutch move, because you can shut down their Miss Marvel, but it's a lot harder for them to figure out where your werewolf is going to be if they want to blow it up. By the way, werewolf pro tip, pay attention to priority. If you're afraid of a Shang-Chi and you don't think you can win priority before the final turn, make sure your werewolf is not in Shang range. If you do think you can win priority and you want to roll the dice, feel free to roll the dice, but understand that werewolf and priority with regards to the cards that counter it is a very important minigame to understand. Sentry is a card that we're trying to make into a 420, basically. I would say this card would get about twice as good if it lost 1 point of power, but as is, the weakness to Shang-Chi is holding it back a little bit, in my opinion. However, the fact is, your opponent is going to have to invest in that Shang-Chi, and you have multiple ways of removing that void or turning it into an advantage. Beast can remove the void, keep that in mind, and of course, Annihilus turns it into an advantage. You can also sort of use the threat of that to force your opponent to play over onto the lane with the void in it. This is a really good card, and I will say I almost never actually feel like he's actually hurting me. Like, this is a card that's basically all upside. It's a 410. It's very, very good. The only complaint about it I have is that it's too big. Like, that's a pretty good thing to have to complain about. Annihilus is our finisher of choice, and this is very much a turn 5 Annihilus deck. Our turn 6s tend to involve, say, multiple 4 costs, 3 costs, or, 3 costing 4 costs, and then multiple 0 costing 1 costs, and that's kind of what our final turns are in a deck like this, which doesn't leave a ton of room for turn 6 Annihiluses. However, in Mirrors, you are going to want to make sure you play the Annihilus priority game correctly, understand that the second Annihilus, sending all that stuff back over to them or blowing it up, is quite powerful. And do remember, as there are going to be, some armors that you're going to run into, your stuff won't blow up if it is in an armor lane. I know that sounds obvious. I've made that mistake. It's apparently not that obvious. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed that look, and I hope my mustache wasn't too distracting for you. This has been KMStache. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. We're going to jump now to footage of my 5-0 Infinite Conquest with this deck. I hope you enjoy it. It was a blast to record, and it was a blast to record this, so thank you so much. Remember, like and subscribe. Every little bit helps me out, helps me to grow. So if you appreciate what you saw just now, hit all those buttons. Makes me feel good. Helps me grow. Thank you. Thank you. I have been KMBest. You have been phenomenal. I will see you in the next one. All right. Turn 1 Forge into most stuff is pretty good. Celine, my Falcon, will you? Okay, so they're an Annihilus deck, which we are as well. Just gonna play the Falcon out here, I think. And I will pour myself the first drink of today. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. This is not a great draw. I'm actually just gonna hold that. Okay, we drew the rock. Let's get the wolf out here. Sentry. Uh-huh, I see. All right, then I play Sentry. Can I win this? Oh, yes, I can. Okay. Trying to figure out my order here. I think it's that. I think it's that. We were playing around the fart cloud there, for the record, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. Not even close to mattering. Not even close to being close. I was trying to figure out all of my, throw priority plays there. Got to get rid of priority there. And then when we got rid of priority, it was like, oh, damn, they just played their Annihilus. Because, like, the whole thing I was doing there was I have to get rid of my own priority because I want my Annihilus to go off second on the final turn of the game. They just played that shit on turn 5. Okay, this is interesting because I don't have any of my good cards yet. That said, we get to go Forge, Ham, Widow, Beast on a Limbo game. Okay. I will also snap this. Because I have my Shang. I don't know if they have their Shang, but I have mine. And me snapping back doesn't actually do anything. It's just a symbol of asserting dominance. You know what I mean? It's about the dominance assertion, not about anything else. It's about sending a message. Wow, they actually have the fart cloud. That's crazy. I think I'll just play the 5-7 here. Four cards in hand. Uh-huh. So how are we dying here? I don't think we are. And thus, I'm going to make this play. Okay, they're dead. How can Shang-Chi kill two Hulks? Buddy, that's not lore accurate. Oh, that's crazy. Why can't Celine enter her own club? Okay, so we've got the turn one ham here. Savage Land's kind of interesting. I almost don't want to play this guy right now. Is it true you haven't played Snap for a year now? No. Actually, it is still the current year for me. It remains the current year for you boy. If they have Enchantress, they probably have Shang too. New season tomorrow? Shouldn't it be on Tuesday? Today is Sunday for me. Shouldn't the new season be on Tuesday? There should not be a patch tomorrow or a new season. What do we name the sub baby? 9 months? Man, that is crazy. That is definitely crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frozor, as well. New Year's Eve and 1 year. That is outrageous. Outrageous. Thank you. Am I dead here or something? Yo, Frozor with 5 sub gifts too. That's nuts. Thank you. I don't think I'm dead here or anything like that. I really would like to know what the fuck they were thinking was happening here. Because I have absolutely no idea what they thought was happening here. Goes Forge. And then just big Enchantress. Which is 7 and plus 8, so we add 15 over here. And then we can't die. Happy New Year. Thank you, Human Spider. Frozor with the gift subs. That's honestly crazy. Alright, so I don't think we can die here. Because that's more than what an Infinite can make up. And that is more than what an Infinite can make up. Yep, we got him. Are you streaming into 2024? For some people, but I don't know about for me. I got recorded the snapshot tonight. Double Pope with the Prime resub for 6 months. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Gross. Time Theater sucks. Time Theater sucks. Did you win on doing nothing there? Actually, yes, I did. Just in case I have to play Enchantress for tempo here. Oh, gross. Double Misty Knight. Fuck off. World's most depressing game of Marvel Snap continues. Yo, Code DB says, Happy New Year. I hope the best for you and yours. Okay. All right. I'm depressed now. Thank you, Code DB. Your message was not depressing. This game has been, though. But it's okay. And we're on level 3 of the hype train, which is crazy. Thank you so much. We're moving ever closer to that handlebar mustache blob cosplay. The blobs play. What am I getting out of theirs? What you sipping on? This is some Howler Head. They sponsored me recently. And I still have some left over. You're snapping. Why? I'm good to play on this one. I think this one's fine to play. This is a pretty okay hand. And they don't have any 1-drops, so they got my ham and know it's hitting their Evo. That's what they're happy about. Annoying. Yeah, I think I just have to blow this up if I can. It's not really about the Falcon doing anything. It's about this happening. Oh, that's bad. Oh, okay. Okay. Solid. This is a situation. Why did I not play there? Am I stupid? I'm definitely stupid. Thank you, KX. Thank you. Holy shit. Uh-huh. I'm definitely stupid for this one, but we'll see if we can get anywhere with it. None of my cards particularly do anything right now. They just are cheap. That Shang is kind of interesting. No, I'm dead. Let's just leave. Let's just leave. Thank you for that. Hype train. Much appreciated, y'all. I will play a Forge. Haven't done a lot of drawing of my good cards here, but I'll live, I think. Interesting. Okay, so if we can get, like, some cool Nexus things happening. We have Inch and Shang here, which is remarkable, I think. Being able to play Enchantress into Shang is very, very interesting. I don't know why I put the werewolf there. That was dumb as shit. Oh, baby. So do they Cosmo me right now? And can we beat it? We can't. Ah, they did Cosmo me. I tried to see if there was any math we could do about that, but the answer is simply no. There was no math we could do about that. We ended up short regardless. Annie mid beat that. 9 plus 11? God damn, you're right. 9 plus 11 would have been 20. We go to 31 there. Yeah, we could have beaten that. We could have even done, oh man, I totally missed that. We could have even done, what's her, no, we couldn't have done that because she was the move guy. All right, whatever. Forge it is. We're going to give up on the 8 power Nico in order to get this stuff going earlier. $16 power Nico, 12 power Nico, whatever. Well, we got to get rid of this Annihilus now in case we get, you know, leeched. Gotta get rid of that Annihilus now in case of, the leech. What a card. My draws next turn are all going to be less expensive, so I'll be able to play all of these cards. Yo! Big Papa with the gift sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Big Papa. Oh, okay. Or multiple jumps on the final turn of the game, because every card in my deck at that point was a card that would move around. Or not move around. Every card in my deck at that point was a card that could move Wolf, so we would have 2 jumps on the final turn if we kept hand. Get the Zabs into the Wolf, and then we'll see where things go. Happy New Year's. Snappy New Year's. Time's still on 2. Interesting. Lockjaw. Gotcha. Power Stone. Okay. Wave. All right. Not my favorite thing on Earth, but if they get like a big ongoing here, I'm in an okay spot. At least we turned off that Power Stone. Like, it's not, you know, the greatest thing in the world to turn off, but it's not like the worst thing either. Why didn't that guy snap on T3? Literally best hand? Yeah, I feel like their hand is insane here. We got a blob out of there. Holy shit. Wait, am I a fucking idiot? I am a fucking idiot. Gross. Woo! 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 Shit! All right. Goddamn. We got there somehow. Playing horribly, winning anyway. The KM best way. The method. God, I would love to be able to beast this forge back up. Which conquest is this? Infinity. Okay, that's a Mind Stone. What we hitting? Oh, again! We got the blob again! We got the blob again! Holy shit. Okay, so I just win that one? Oh my god, blob. Holy shit, location batching? Dude, these locations are being batched? We hit a lockjaw? Holy shit. Are we actually gonna have more points than that thing? Holy shit, we're getting both of them? Oh my god. Draw my entire deck. Fair game. We're having a fair game of Marvel Snap over here, chat. Some would say the fairest. Some would say the fairest game of Marvel Snap to ever exist. Ah, shit. Leech. Fuck. I've died. Some would say the deadest. My plans have been foiled. Damn it. Some would say the worst plan of Marvel Snap of all time. I could have done anything other than that and, like, won. My God. Okay, so we have, okay. Okay. Don't leech me again. You do not get another leech. There we go. I'm not falling for that again. That's some shit I'm not falling for again, dude. Not getting leeched again. You fool me twice, you won't get fooled again. You won't get fooled again. Whoa, they snap me? My hand seems pretty okay. I'll play for 4. Turn 1 Soulstone. Alright. Your haircut's looking crisp, which is weird, because I honestly have not gotten the haircut in a while. Can't say I get it. Okay. Sentry left can't be shanked until they Killmonger. I'm aware of that. But I don't have my stuff that I would need to feel good about that, unfortunately. Hopefully he does Leech Sentry. Like, maybe we can get something out of that. Seems hard for them to win here. Who knows, though? I'll play it. Kaboom. Yep, okay. Seems good to me. Some interesting stuff can happen here with regards to Annihilus. Gotta keep that line in mind. Oh, we hit a Super Scroll. Okay, so it's good to know they run Super Scroll. I'm learning things. Magic. Okay, well, there goes my interesting Annihilus lines. So I'm guessing this is Tribunal then. I was looking for Nico turn off Limbo. That's why we didn't go for Nico double. Yeah, we're just kind of looking for that Enchantress. Oh shit, I'm an idiot. I'm out here like, we're looking for that Enchantress, and then we're gonna fucking die. Okay. I'm kind of interested to find out what the fuck their plan is here. They have 19 each lane if they just Tribunal. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Iron Lad hit Tribunal. Oh shit. All right, we win every lane. We win every lane. Note that Get Wreck's math was in fact wrong there. And they still don't even know that we have an Enchantress. They played Lad, not Tribunal. But they got more points because they effectively added 10 to the right. Right? Didn't that just give them more points? Lost 3. Oh, you're right. Get Rex right? What the fuck? That's not... It's not allowed to be right. That's fucking stupid. Fucking he's right? That's illegal. Hit a Miss Marvel. Oh, goddamn. Don't I still die? Okay, we have that going for us. But I think we still actually die, right? We just lose the middle? I'm not doing any math on this. It's 15-15. Oh, no, we win? Literally on Wolf being 8 versus Onslaught being 7. Holy fuck. Oh, gross. Oh, fucking disgusting. Oh my god. You guys see why I was so worried about the how that went, right? It was like such a losable game. You should have clogged playing both, right? I was thinking about it, right? A Loki. Horrifying. Well, okay. I got that goblin recently. It's pretty dope. Agree. Okay, turn 1 Sentinel makes me feel a little better than turn 1 Collector. Let's ham it up. Turn 2 Sentinel, as one does. Blow up a dino. I like that. I like a forge, too. Gets me closer to my Annihilus stuff that actually can win me the game here. Quinjet Coulson. An Annihilus is probably my best draw, right? Miss Marvel. I'll play it. Oh, we win, I think. I believe we win this. Looks like a win. Looks like a win for you, boy. I was worried. There was stuff that could beat our ass there, but I was never really targeting that left lane anyway. Pretty much because of the Shang vulnerability. I think they snapped because they were like, I'm gonna get his ass with, what's-her-face? Not Khazar. They snapped on, I'm gonna get the Annihilus shit. I'm gonna fucking beat his ass on that, you know? They snapped on that. Yo, thank you, Tech Ninja. I don't have Gladiator and Legion for the Sarah Rivas deck. Is Sentry and Annihilus a good substitute? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, you can do much better. Thank God I saved that Enchantress. Fuck. There's no way they wolf. Not that I can tell. They could have Annihilus, but they got 3 cards off of that. And I run a lot of 1-drops and useless shit. Now, should I have copied the Enchantress? Yes. But I'm expecting them to, like, Annihilus some shit here, I think. Okay, we killed a Falcon, so that's one of the cards in their hand. That's just like a Shang. It won't be enough. The Hood is the other card in their hand. That's good to know. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. That's not enough, friend. That's not enough, friend. They lost to pass? A little bit. A little bit. I like the Gladiator thing they're doing. It's cool. There's a Gladiator. God damn it. Unpleasant. Less than ideal. Big guy. YOLO Flow. Thank you for the raid. All right, I mean, I'll keep it pumping here. I'll keep it pumping here. I doubt I'm going to win, but I'm at least going to stick around to see. They don't steal my Annie. That's the thing. Yeah, like, we could top deck Enchantress or get some of their cards. Who the fuck knows? Sentinel. So I get a Sentinel. Yeah, my hand sucks. And I get those Coulson cards. Top deck Enchantress one time. Oh my god, do I get a Shang? Holy shit. They just gave me Enchantress. I see. Well, that seems good to me. I guess it's still losable. What's my alternative to making this play? See, I don't think it's actually free is the thing. Shang mid, Enchantress mid, but then we just lose on the left and then we lose on the right because they can play cards into Morag and one of them is my Wolf and they play a Shang over there and they move it in there. Then we die. I think we always die if they figure out the right play here. My god, they didn't. They didn't figure out the right play here, chat. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. They got nowhere. All right, well, that's an Infinity Avatar.